Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Next Man Up podcast, the podcast where we talk to basketball personalities and chat about the latest in the Philippine hoop scene. Let's get to it and check out the Next Man Up. And you can catch all the other episodes on Spotify. Just search Next Man Up podcast and also on YouTube at Globally Ballin. Check out our social media handles as well, shown on your screens: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube. It's Globally Ballin and Globally Ballin Southeast Asia for Facebook, Globally Ballin Official for IG. We also have a website where you can catch different content from our different shows, just like these. So for an eternity of basketball, where they talk to a lot of basketball legends, for episode 149, they had Nilo Cruz on the show. And for Who the Heck Are We, episode 116, they had Julian Schwarzer Garcia. And of course, just to remind you guys, the Globally Ballin Network, who's responsible for us being here, has its own website and also its own YouTube channel. So check that out. We are also on Spotify on Next Man Up. Make sure to subscribe. And also subscribe to us on YouTube. All episodes are available on the Globally Ballin YouTube channel. And now, before we get going, this podcast is not a solo show, but a two-man game between me, Dario, your resident analyst in the UAAP and also a professional basketball player, and my guy, my former teammate in college, Mr. Hot Takes, Gelo Vito, my guy Gelo Vich. How you been doing? It was a busy week for the both of us, my guy.
Bro, it was a busy week. And we've covered a lot of UAP games. Lalo ka na, you hold the record for most
That's
games
right.
covered in the UAAP. So congratulations, Jegs. Good job to you, bro. And once again, good evening to all our listeners tonight. This is gonna be a great one.
And of course, we're gonna talk about a lot of the games from the UAAP and of course in the PBA today. We also had a great conversation last week as we had a B League guest. So check that out when you guys have the time. Check that out on all our social media channels. It will all be there. And before we welcome our guests, let's talk about some of the happenings that happened in the UAAP and also in the PBA. Let's start it off with the UAAP gels, just the game recaps of last weekend's exciting ball games in the UAAP.
It was a crazy weekend of hoops. Well, we gotta start it off with the first game last Saturday. It was against. I covered this game. It was UE Red Warriors versus
Right.
the FEU Tamaraus.
Yes, sir.
This is such a surprising game. This is where all hell broke loose for UE. They got their first ever victory after 2 3 years, I think so. Yeah, after 15 16 games, they got their first win against the FU Tamaraus. And then on the second game, it was the Saturday. It was
That was, I think that
at,
UE game was in that last Wednesday, where
oh yeah,
UE
yeah, yeah.
got their first win. So that first
Mm.
game of Saturday was, I think, Adamson UE, where
Adamson UE, yeah,
UE
where
lost.
you sorry, it was yeah. Adamson won their first game. I'm so sorry. And then on the second game, it was UP and FEU. Oh, that was
That's
a
right.
that was a that was a, that was a crazy one. We're gonna be discussing that moving forward to today's show. And on last Sunday, yesterday, uh, it was UST
UST and
against
NU
the
going
UST
up.
and
Yep.
you going against, and the second game, the biggest rivalry in Philippine sports, it was the Ateneo Lasal game that will be going into a much deeper discussion in tonight's episode.
And that's right. Since we're waiting for some of our guests here, let's oh, actually, our guests are here already, and we are going to be welcoming them. Of course, before we welcome them to the show, let's intro them first. So we have, for this episode of the Next Man Up podcast, we have Mayor Dinko Bautista, the team owner, basically of the Davao Occidental Tigers, Coco Life, and the mayor of Santa Maria Davao Occidental, and also
Hello, hello.
CEO of the PSL League, one of the up and coming leagues here in the Philippines. First of all, Boss Dinko, how are you? I think
All
you're in Japan
good.
right now, am I right?
Yep. Enjoying the time. I signed a big contract with the Japan League, so
Oh,
playing.
I'm
You
excited.
know,
I'm excited for that, Boss
I'm
Dinko.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Woo! Anyway, how
Okay,
are you,
just
boss?
enjoying
How are
some
you?
time. Just enjoying some family time here in Japan. Got work to do. Just
Ah,
spending
that's
some
right.
time.
All right.
Yeah.
So before we move over, Boss Dinko, to your Cavs fandom, since this is a basketball
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna
podcast.
display my name as Cavs fan for life. So
We'll
I
take
didn't. I
that any
wasn't
day.
aware.
We'll take that any day, Boss Dinko. Let's start it off with, basically you are the CEO of PSL, and you guys had one season last year. I think that was last year, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, it was last year. No, this
That
year,
was last year.
PSL.
Oh, this year,
Yeah, this year, around
right?
March.
And there was a
Yeah,
21 under also. But before anything else, what was the motivation? Why did you start this league for? Basically, it's a grassroots for the locals of different provinces, right?
yeah. So in regards to the under 21 league that we put up, we wanted to showcase more local talent there, as you said, grassroots program. So we made this program so that those kids who didn't really get much college offers, we presented them with a stage where people from around the Philippines or even around the world could see their talent. So we got kids from Mindanao, we got kids from Visayas. We already know that Luzon has a huge pool of talent, so we just want to make
Right.
sure that we gave equal spotlight to kids in Visayas and in Mindanao.
And
You
that's
know,
very important because before it was just the UAAP, the
Yeah,
NCAA. I
it's a
mean,
Safi
don't
and
get me
Cebu.
wrong, as a Safi and Cebu, but don't get me wrong. Like there are a lot of talented players from the province from Cebu. I'm sure Jello knows this, and I think Jello has a question about that.
Yeah, shoot.
you know, Mayor talking about setting up a 21 under league, and what was your initial reaction after the first season? Because I was kind of aware of it. I was kind of looking at it from time to time, and it was a really great matchup between Pasig Coco Life and
Ooh,
Pampanga. I was
Yeah,
watching. I was kind of
in the
watching. I was kind of watching
Luzon
the
leg.
Luzon
Yeah,
finals. Yeah, Luzon leg. Because I have a player, a former player there who played in PSL 21 under. And
Mhm.
how was the initial reaction from you? Because it was a really intense matchup.
Yeah. Actually, we actually didn't really expect it to be that big, especially when it went over to the national finals.
Yeah.
right.
We didn't expect the reception that we got. We got, I think, around 33,000
Wow.
live viewers at one
Crazy.
point.
And that's for the
Yeah,
first season.
First
yeah, that
season.
was for the first season. Actually, we had an inaugural season back during the first season of PSL, but it was more of testing the waters kind of thing. We
Right.
saw the reception of that, so we said that maybe we should just give this a full blast treatment. Involve Mindanao, bring kids from Luzon. So the reception was beautiful. We got a lot of people talking about it. We got a lot of eyes on the product, which is important because that's what we wanted. We wanted all eyes on these young up and coming kids who fortunately now have a few of them have like college scholarships. A few
That's
in
right.
Arellano, like Matthew Flores from Consolacion Weavers. I'm aware nasa Arellano na siya.
Mhm.
I got a couple of kids from my team as well. It's just really a empowering experience knowing that uh, you're part of that responsibility that you
Yeah.
give the kids. So it's really an empowering feeling.
And that's basically the goal for PSR, right? You mentioned it
Yeah.
is to give that platform to these kids to give more exposure. But looking forward, Mayor Dinko, what are you guys planning for the PSL, both for the 21 under and for the pro level as well?
For the pro level, I'm sure we got something cooking. Well,
Right.
we do have something cooking around October. Probably by the tail end of October, we might start our season. We got new rules coming up, so we're expecting a high level caliber of talent coming in, not just from the internal, but we got a bunch of teams coming in as well. Got a few from Mindanao, we got a few from Luzon. For the
Right.
under 21, we plan to extend it. We plan to make it even a younger bracket age so that the potential is there. So it's more of a grassroots program because we realize that some of these 21-year-olds are already collegiate players up
Right.
against high school players.
Yeah.
So the bracketing is kind of the skill level between 18-year-olds and 21-year-olds is
Or
very apparent now.
yeah,
It's the
very
skill
strong.
level is crazy. So we
Yeah.
try to equal the playing ground. We probably might shift towards younger age bracket so that it's more competitive within the age.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's that to look forward to. So yeah, a bunch of projects in the works.
And Boss Ray is supposed to be here. I don't know where Boss Ray is, but
Probably
um,
sleeping.
let, let's get an update on basically how you and this Davao team. I mean, a lot of
Yeah.
people are talking about this Davao team, Mayor Dinko, and how did this start? How was the whole relationship with the Davao Occidental team start? I remember, I think some of the players even told me that you actually trained with them before, like way back, years
Yeah,
back,
yeah, yeah,
2018.
yeah.
Yeah.
So during the first inauguration of our team, or the first installment of our team, we had so much difficulties trying to recruit players. You're even asking family friends to join the team
Right, right.
with no professional
I
experience.
look
You're
at the
like,
team now. Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
we got a team coming up. We got a team joining this league right now. Maybe you guys want to come.
Yeah.
I know you're pretty good at basketball. I don't know on a
Right,
professional
right.
level, but then it eventually we got a solid group of guys. A lot from Mindanao. Then we got a lot of key veteran pieces. Your Marquis, your Bonbon Custodio, Leon Horda,
Right.
our initial ex pros. We went to the finals of that league, and that really started everything. So we said, no, maybe we could really do something with this team.
Yeah.
So rebuild. We already knew what worked. We already knew what didn't work. So we just took out whatever didn't work. Just put in supplementary stuff.
Right.
Ended up winning a championship, and I guess the story of Davao didn't really stop when we won a championship. It was more of the internal stuff. So
Mhm.
I guess word got out that how
Yeah.
we manage our team, uh, we treat we treat our players like family.
And that's right. Right.
Yeah.
We always think about them. We always invite them out when we have time. So yeah, it's mostly just building a relationship with the players because um, as far as I know, uh, from stories from other team owners, they don't really talk to their players, they don't really
Yeah.
engage much.
Yep.
So we try to flip the narrative over. We didn't want to be that type of people.
Yeah.
Yes, they work for us, but it doesn't create that barrier between us. So there's professionalism and there's always a
Yeah.
personal side. So we try to balance that.
Yeah, Mayor, I kind of played against you guys because I was playing in the MPBL
Yeah,
before back in
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
2019,
I'm aware.
and
I'm aware.
and you guys killed us. I played for Enos. You guys killed us. End of the story. But looking at that lineup when that I went against up, and it was a bunch of I wouldn't want to say ex pros, maybe older professionals, I must say, but
Yeah.
you the amount of talent that you guys had. You had Joel Asterso, Bonbon Custodio, Marky at that time. And at
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
time, they were
I'm
really
lucky I didn't
good.
go up against that team. I'm still in the PBA.
Exactly,
Good thing
exactly.
Yeah,
I
And
but
didn't in the
you
MPBL
asked
then.
Jago the same thing. He killed us in the matchup.
yeah, but yeah, how was it like to to combine all those talent, all those
Right, right.
egos, because all of them are talented in their specific areas. Like, how was it to build on that and to bring that cohesion as one team and eventually win that championship? Because it's not hard, it's not easy to bring in
Yeah,
egos like that.
yeah. That was actually a really a tough thing to overcome because I remember there was a one point in our run. We won our first game of the season. Then we just
Yeah.
went. We lost like three straight. I was
Wow.
like, we
Mm.
gotta hold up. We gotta do something about this.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was a time where we thought about doing a team building, and it just brought everybody together. I mean, team building is normal for all pro teams, I'm guessing. That just really established a bond between them.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
I guess we made them realize that they're not playing for the names on their backs, but they're playing for the names on the front. So they represented Davao, regardless of where they were from.
Yeah.
So we just kept that narrative going. No, you guys are playing for Davao. You guys aren't playing for your names. You guys aren't playing for anybody. You guys are playing for Davao. You guys are Davao, and there's pride in that. And we just try to uphold that. We always try to remind them that it's bigger than them. The opportunity they have with this team is way beyond their individual successes because we know that we could take them far. So
Mhm.
yeah, it was more about communication. It was more about building a building a vision and make sure everybody
Right.
was looking at that
Yep.
same vision. So yeah, it was pretty hard, but look at us now.
Yeah.
And you guys
Yeah.
eventually won the championship. So, looking forward though, I mean there have been some changes. I'm part of that team. Talking about
Yep.
the Davao team. How about that? How about that? Those updates? Are we gonna see more signings, or I don't know? Maybe it's a secret yet. I'm not sure,
You
man.
guys don't need another point guard. Let me say that. You guys don't need another point guard.
You were stacked on point guards. You were stacked on point guards. You got bigs, but we'll see what's cooking. We got people calling up, so it's the ball's in our court if you want to sign them or not. But
Yeah.
Right.
as far as big name signings go, I'll try to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think Jello, you got more questions
No,
about
I just wanna ask something about my partner here, Diego Dorio, because
what is this?
I've been with this guy since 2014, first year in college, and I've seen him grow as a player. Because I played with him, kind of played against him, and right now maybe might be playing against him again. And what is it like working with a Diego Dorio in
Ooh,
that setting, in
that
that
is a
setting?
tough question, Jeff.
Yeah, in
Yeah.
that kind of setting, because
You're putting me on the spot here, bro.
in that kind of setting, na he's somewhat a veteran professional right now.
would
He's
you
been
would you
in the
consider
league.
yourself a veteran, Diego?
Maybe experience wise, yes, but like age wise, no. You got a lot of veterans in the team.
You got a lot of veterans by
Yeah,
definition and by on the team.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, how was it working with Diego as a part of
Oh,
as a
yeah,
Yeah,
you
part
gotta
of
that's my
guess
brother.
Davao.
as a part of Davao, as a part of Davao Occidental? How was it working with him?
Yeah. So far, as far as Jag is concerned, he's one of our new signees. So there's a lot more to discover about Jago. As far as team building is concerned, he
Mhm.
hasn't gone through the initial
Ranks.
stages of our
Yeah.
Initial stages like
initiation.
I am
initiation.
looking
Yeah,
forward and not at the
every
same time
player
not looking
always has an
forward to.
initiation stage in the Davao
Right.
Occidental Tigers.
Mhm.
So I'm still looking forward to that. But as early as now, I could say that Jack is a hard worker. Yeah, he always inspires
Mhm.
our younger talents for sure.
Yeah.
Because he's a trainer himself, so he really puts his craft and really applies it. So yeah, he's been a help on the team. I actually asked him for help,
Mhm.
even beyond basketball. Like
Yeah.
I'm aware that he graduated in tourism, so yeah, there was a time I was asking him questions about that. So yeah, again, relationships in Davao Occidental Tigers go way beyond basketball.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess even as early as our relationship with Diego Dario goes,
Mm.
it's easily proven that you
Yeah,
go way beyond basketball.
that's true.
That's
That's
right.
true. I
I
mean, I
mean,
would
I can
attest to
speak.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can speak personally, man. Like this Davao team is different. It's run differently compared to a lot of the teams that I played for. It's not transactional. Mayor Dinko described it perfectly. It's not transactional. It's more relationship building, and that's what I love about it. And Mayor Dinko, let's talk about the fun part. We're done
Yeah.
with PSL. We're done with me. Why did we even talk about me? Just we are talking about your Cavs. So how did this start? How did this
Hmm.
Cavs fandom start, Mayor
Yeah.
Dinko? You've been very
Vocal.
yeah, vocal
Vocal
about
right
this.
here.
Yeah.
I actually, it actually all started with when I guess when LeBron left.
Ooh.
Ooh, like the first time.
Wow. The first time he left.
Yeah, the first time LeBron left
Okay.
Cleveland, man, I really hated the dude. So I was like, I'm just gonna support. I'm just gonna support my team.
So that's how it started.
Yeah, I'm just gonna support my team. So pre Kyrie, just dropped LeBron. So pre Kyrie team. So you got what? You got um, Earl Clark. You
Right.
got your Mo Williams. You got your who else was
Who
there?
else was there?
Delonte West was still there, I think.
Delonte.
Delonte was there.
Who else was there? But that team, I love
Yeah.
that team so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Kyrie got on there, then I became more and more of a fan. And I guess it just built from
Ilgauskas
there.
was there.
Ilgauskas was
Ilgauskas was big.
Varejao.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Varejao.
Varejao,
Varejao was
Yeah.
still there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a pure underdog team. I actually really love rooting for underdog teams. Actually, my favorite Cav player of all time is no cap Anthony Bennett.
No way. No. This
I
actually
love
might
the
be a
dude.
hot take. This
I
That's
actually
a
might
love
be
hot
a
take.
hot
That's
take.
a hot
I
take.
love the dude. I
Oh
love
my
the
god.
dude. He was so
Wow.
hyped up, and I was on that hype train. I was on it. I was
Right. Yeah.
first man in. I was
I
like,
think
let's
everyone
go.
was on that
We're
hype,
changing.
hype train.
We're
Yeah.
changing the Cavs. We're changing the
Yeah.
Cavs. Let's go, Anthony Bennett. And he
Hmm.
sucked. He sucks so much.
But, okay,
I love it. I love it so
as a fan,
much.
Mayor Dinko, what went wrong with Anthony
Yeah.
Bennett? Man? What went wrong?
Yeah.
Or was it was
I
he
want
just
to.
not
I
that
want to
player?
say injuries, but I guess
Right.
it's the front. I think it's the front office
Front
fault
office.
for absolutely doing absolute crap of scouting. He did
Yeah,
not do.
who
They
is
didn't do it. They didn't do scouting right. They were like, you know what? Let's pass up on Victor Oladipo in second. Let's just get Anthony Bennett. He hasn't proven anything. Let's just get him.
Oh my god.
So I was like, you know what? All right. I won't knock it. You guys are my favorite team, so I'll just ride on this guy. So every
Mhm.
draft, every player they drafted, I'm
Yeah.
always on the hype train. There was a
Yeah.
time where NBA cards was the thing, probably like a year ago,
Yeah.
a year,
Right,
2 years ago. I was just collecting all the Cavs autographs, and I just had to get an Anthony Bennett autograph card, which I did. It's my prized possession. It's priceless. But if you ask eBay, it's just one like what 100 pesos.
Literally.
But to me, it's
Literally
priceless.
priceless.
It's priceless.
I mean, in that same draft class, let's take a look at that draft class. Just
I don't
you
want to
know,
talk about the draft class.
I
Let's
mean,
just move on. I don't want to
Victor
talk about the
Oladipo,
draft
second
class.
round.
We-
You got
Second
CJ
round.
McCollum,
We
10th
don't want to
round.
go. We
We
don't
got
want to go in
Giannis
that draft class.
Antetokounmpo.
We don't want
Giannis
to go. We don't
Antetokounmpo.
want.
Oh my god.
We don't want to go in that draft class.
That
That
is-
draft class
Oh
is
my goodness.
absolutely the worst thing
Yeah.
the Cavs have done.
But-
I would agree when people
Yeah.
say that Anthony Bennett's the biggest bust. I would say so, but I don't care. He's my favorite player. AB 15, you know? AB 15.
Yeah. Josh, you
But
got
would you
something?
say? But would you say you're a LeBron hater after he won his first in Miami?
Ooh. Yeah. Were you still a Cavs
Yeah.
fan when LeBron
Yeah.
came
I
back?
was still a Cavs fan.
Yeah.
fan.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say I was a LeBron hater, but at the time I was like This dude, man. This dude. You just jump ship just
So,
to win a chip with some superstars. You got a
so what
superstar in
was your
Anthony Bennett.
right?
They got a
What was your
superstar in
initial
Anthony
reaction
Bennett. He didn't
when
see
LeBron
that.
came
Only I
back?
saw that.
Yeah, but when LeBron came back, but when
What was your
LeBron
Oh,
came
initial
back,
reaction?
when LeBron came back, I was ripping my shirt.
You
Let's
hype.
go.
he was so hyped.
Oh, best believe I skipped classes for the 2016 finals.
Right?
Skip classes. I just watched that. Then as soon as they won, I got all my because there was a time where I was a Golden State fan. So I got
Ooh.
yeah, there was a time I was a
Wow.
Golden State fan, but this was Steph Curry, Monte Ellis type.
Oh, the early
So I got a lot. I
early
got
Warriors. Yep.
early Warriors where it was Steph's rookie year, I think, and we went on a trip to San Francisco. So I was like, man, this Curry kid, man, he's gonna be something. But bought a bunch of shirts and all of that. And as soon as the Cavs won, probably 2016, so that's like what 6 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, 6 years later. Yeah, best believe I got all my Golden State stuff, put it under my car, and just ran over it. I was like, yeah, yeah. I loved it, man, and I loved it. I loved it when LeBron said, "Cleveland, this is for
This for
you."
you.
Oh God, best
Yeah.
believe I cried. I was like, yeah, that's for me. That's for AB
And then
15.
that's for AB 15. That's for all the fans of Cleveland. But Mayor Dinko, what was your reaction when LeBron left the second time? I mean, even Kyrie when Kyrie left also. Let's talk about Kyrie and LeBron now.
Yeah, when Kyrie and LeBron left, that was a punk ass move. I hated that
Punk
move.
ass move for
But
sure.
we, we
Yeah.
we already won the championship, so I was just a Cavs fan
Yeah.
already. So we didn't have to prove anything. They could sign another Anthony Bennett if all I cared. They could re-sign him, give him a max contract. I don't care. We already won the ship.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to prove. So
Yeah.
now I'm just riding on these rookies.
Yeah.
I love the rookies. I love Evan Mobley.
Right.
I love that dude with the mullet. I forgot his
DG.
name. Forgot the guy
Darius
with his
Garland?
mullet.
Darius Garland.
There's Darius Garland, but there was this white dude who had a mullet during their summer league.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I forgot his name.
Yeah.
I forgot his name, but
But
I love that dude too.
Mayor Dinko,
Oh, but-
moving forward
yeah.
into the season, after signing, getting Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan.
Yeah, that took me by
Donovan
surprise. Nobody even saw it coming. I was like,
Yeah, so-
yeah. Let me just scroll on Instagram
Yeah.
and just see Donovan Mitchell in the Cavs jersey. I just
Cavs
popped
jersey, yeah.
off. I just popped off. That's a beautiful picture, by the way.
Yeah.
I just popped off, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. I just called up my friends. Oh my god, did you see this? Are you seeing this?
And just to tell a story here, my first reaction when I saw that trade was to post it to my story, tag Mayor Dinko, because he's probably the happiest person I know, and I knew when
I
that
loved
news
it,
came
man.
out, man. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
I loved
And
it.
you actually
I loved it.
you actually might be the first Cavs fan I know, because a lot of the Cavs fan
Yeah.
I knew before were LeBron fans, but you're actually like a legit
Legit.
Cavs fan.
Yeah.
It's
Uh-huh.
crazy.
Mhm. Put Dion Waiters respect. Respect on Dion Waiters' name. Screw Tristan Thompson. Put respect on Dion Waiters' name.
I'm loving it.
love
Spoken
that
like a
dude.
true fan. Spoken
Yeah,
I love
like a
that
true
dude.
fan because you love all
Double
the
T's
all
trash.
yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
yes, I think last playoffs they made it back to the playoffs, right? Is
Yeah.
that right?
Yeah. They did.
Yeah,
They
play
did.
in, play in, play
Yeah,
in.
Play in,
Play in.
rather, play in. Have you ever watched like a live Cavs game?
Yeah, actually, 2017 NBA Finals Game
Mhm.
3
Wow.
Ooh. And how
in
was that? How
Cleveland.
was that experience? Were you with
Yeah.
with your family or who were you with?
I was with my dad. It was a very memorable experience because I was watching the game and I noticed the person beside me looked so familiar. It so
Mhm.
happened to be Kevin Durant's mom.
No way.
I even have pictures on my Facebook. I'll just probably send them to you sometime soon. But yeah, took a picture with her. I rocked the long hair back then. So I was like, yo, can I have a picture, please? So yeah, me and her took pictures together. And yeah, if you didn't know that series ended up what, 4-1?
For one.
Mm-hmm.
4-1. And guess when they won once? The time we visited. And it was a blast.
so
The only
so
time
you
we
can actually
visited Cleveland,
right.
they won that game. So I was like, you know what, we can go home. I couldn't care less. They could lose right now. I don't care.
Right, right. And you can be that fan who would say, I'm the lucky charm.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean, why
me.
not,
Yeah, I'm
right?
the
That's
lucky
true.
Why
charm.
That's
not?
true. That's true.
Why not, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Man, I'm
So
so
yeah, with
excited for this
yeah.
Cavs team because honestly, as a point guard, I'm a Darius Garland fan because
yeah,
he's just so shifty. I see myself in him. He's like small, but he can shoot. He can make plays for his team. And
yeah,
what can you
yeah,
what can you say about Darius? I mean, he's actually they got him from the draft and then they just developed him.
yeah. I actually thought they were gonna compete with like Colin Sexton and Darius Garland because they were both relatively small.
Yeah.
And I remember last season or last season, correct me if I'm wrong, they went up against Brooklyn in like a double, triple overtime, I think. And
Hmm.
Colin Sexton balled his game out,
Yeah, yeah,
defeated the Brooklyn Nets. And I thought, now, wow, they're really going to keep Colin Sexton and probably trade Darius Garland for some pieces. And when Sexton got hurt, Darius Garland stepped up. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, they're
He went
definitely
off.
crazy.
trading
He went
they're
off.
definitely trading Sexton now. Yeah, he's even an all star. And I was like,
Yep.
hell yes. With Jared
Yeah,
Allen, that's like two Cleveland players. So
Yeah.
I was happy. And yeah, I got shocked because how easily they traded off Colin Sexton like that.
that's right. And they have Liver. You guys actually have a squad. Like
Yeah.
you
You
have
guys have a
Garland
spot.
at the point.
The point.
You got Donovan
Mitchell.
for the shooting guard. Maybe Karis
Sorry for
Levert
the
or
fan. I don't
Paris
know what's
Levert.
up with my laptop. I'm sorry.
here's all good. So this
You're
Karis
good.
Levert, and then you got Jarrett Allen, Evan Mobley.
Kevin Love.
Where Kevin Love,
Kevin
OG
Love.
Cavs. Where do you see this Cavs team, man?
How far will they
This
go
season,
this
this
season?
season.
Of course, I want to say NBA champs, but
Right.
Realistically.
you can't really tell. Realistically,
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say somewhere around like third seed,
Ooh.
probably semifinals
And our
or
producer right here, Mayor Dinko, Aaron,
that's
he's from the States. He said they're not getting through the Pistons. What do
even
you
he doesn't
actually
believe that. Tell your producer, even he doesn't believe that.
Aaron, because he's from Detroit, and I'm
From
just about to
Detroit.
say Aaron, Mayor
No,
Dinko
even
does
he
not
doesn't believe
agree.
that. He doesn't believe that. He's lying through his teeth. Aaron, wherever you are, you're lying through your teeth.
Anyway, I mean, Mayor Dinko, it's been a pleasure having
It's
you
been a
here, just talking about hoops, and we don't
Yeah.
want to,
Yeah.
get so much of your time. I didn't even realize that was 30 minutes. And you
Oh, was
enjoy
that?
your stay
Wow.
there
Yeah.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Thank you
You
for having
deserve
me.
everything. You appreciate you, and I'll
Yeah.
see you
Just,
when you get
doing
back
some
to the
extra
States.
scouting, got to put some more
Yeah, for
players
sure.
on the team. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have Japanese imports for Davao. Anyway, Mayor
Yeah.
Dinko, we
It's been fun.
appreciate
It's
you,
been
man.
Mayor
fun.
Dingo, maraming
Fun.
salamat.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thanks, you guys. Sorry for Boss Ray couldn't be here right now. I guess I'll just
I,
represent him.
it's all good. I think Boss Ray is gonna be here, so we'll have him after your. There
Is
you
he?
go. Boss
Ay,
Ray, kamusta?
nako.
I think no busy with work yata, Mayor Dinko. Busy with work si Boss Ray.
Ay, Mayor, sorry.
De, trabaho naman, Mayor. Okay lang
Trabaho,
yan.
trabaho,
Okay lang
trabaho
yan.
lang.
Trabaho lang, trabaho.
Trabaho lang.
Fun story about Boss Ray, just so you
Yeah,
know that, yeah.
yeah.
There was this league in Malaysia that Boss Ray had to attend to. He wasn't like there to train. He wasn't there to consult. No, he was there to play. He was there to show up, did some moves, score some points, probably won
Right,
player of the game.
right,
I really
right.
couldn't care less about how he performed. Only to find out that they offered him 500,000 What's the money? What's the currency in Malaysia?
Ringgit.
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 They offered him 500,000 ringgit to play, and he was thinking, wow, that's a lot of money. 500,000. That's like six digits. Only
Yeah.
to realize that when you convert it, it's like what 6,000, 8,000 pesos. I was like, well, straight, you beat your ass up for 6,000 and 8,000 pesos. And I even offered him, boss Ray, I'll even pay you 8,000 just to play one on one with me. And
Yeah.
he didn't
Yeah.
take it. I was like, ang cheap mo naman, boss Ray. Nagpunta ka pa ng
Y-
Malaysia para
Gusto niya
maglaro. 8,000 lang pala
500,000
talay
boss
mo.
eh.
8,000 lang pala talay mo, boss Ray. Ang cheap mo naman. Pwede pa yun bigay sa'yo. Mag one-on-one lang tayo.
Actually, yun talaga yung reason ba't nandito si Boss Ray para magkwento si Boss Dinko ng mga stories kay Boss Ray dito sa podcast.
Yeah. If you didn't know, that's yung buhok niya, Tina lang yan. I mean, I just want to throw it out there. This episode is about expose. This isn't
Oh
about
yeah. Right.
this is a real
May ano pa mga
expose.
kwento mo about Boss Ray, Mayor Dinko? Ano ba?
I
Ano
have, a,
pa?
I have a lot of stories about Boss Ray, about his syempre, his upcomings in Davao Occidental, and there are also a lot of shortcomings in this team, including his horrible, horrible haircuts.
Haircuts.
If you've seen him in
Ano
our
yung
first 2
evolution ng
years,
ano
he was rocking
evolution?
the mustache. He was rocking the mustache. He even got this
Man bun.
man bun thing going on. I told him, no, Boss Ray, please, for the love of the team, just cut your hair, man. Me and Coach Don can attest. Me and Coach Don go back and forth with Boss Ray. Boss Ray is just looking at me and Coach Don because me and Coach Don speak a lot of English. So we just go. He just goes,
Yeah.
"Yes, boss.
And you know what it
Yes,
means.
coach. Yes, coach."
All right, let's give Boss Ray a chance to talk here. Boss Ray, Tagalog tayo. Since medyo mahaba na yung usapan namin dito ni Mayor Dinko. Any message lang sa mga fans na nanonood? Siyempre, update sa PSL, sa Davao.
Davao.
Mabilis lang, yeah.
Siyempre, nagpapasalamat kami siyempre. Lalo-lalo sa mga taga sa Pamari. Kung saan very supportive kay Mayor Dinko. Alam mo, si Mayor, marami rin akong story dyan. Kaya lang, sa akin lang.
Secret lang sa atin lang. Okay.
At pa nagkwento ako, lagot ako dyan.
Okay.
Boss
Sige,
Ray,
sige.
Boss Ray, late ka na, Boss Ray. You might as well make up for it na.
Boss Ray, sa team building na lang daw. Yun ang ano.
Oo.
Doon na lang daw makakakwento. Anyway, Boss Ray, Mayor Dinko, we're losing time here, pero thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys for the time, for being here on the show. Salamat
Absolutely.
po, and
Love
have a
being
great
here. Love
Monday
being here.
evening. Yes, sir. And we'll have you back when Cavs make it to the playoffs or maybe the finals. Let's see.
When Cavs win the championship, and you better tell your producer Aaron that.
I'm loving
You
the
tell
trash
him.
talk. I appreciate you guys.
You tell him when the Pistons are rocking the 15th seed in the East.
Guys, I hope nakikita kayo kay Mayor.
Thank you. You guys,
All right,
appreciate
all
you.
right. You guys keep safe. You guys keep.
Yes, sir. All right. Let's. That was a long conversation, but we have some things to talk about. Just very. And we are gonna be talking about some the PBA. So we talked about the UAAP just very quickly. I'll actually just summarize it. Adamson, they won against UE. Jerome Lastimosa had 11 points and 7 assists. And just, ano yung nakita mo sa Adamson and UE? Because Adamson, they got their first win with Jerome Lastimosa just scoring 11, but he had 7 assists. So, parang this Adamson squad is more dangerous pag he's more of a playmaker and if they're making shots. Do you agree with that point?
Jerome Lastimosa was the player of the game that day. He wasn't really scoring, but more of being a facilitator in that game and involving his teammates. Mas nagiging efficient, mas magiging maayos ang tinatakbo ng Adamson Once
Right.
Jerome Lastimosa starts facilitating, controlling everything, ilagay niya sa tamang positions yung mga teammates niya, and that's naging successful sila. Yung UE naman, kaya medyo nakadikit ng konti, is because they were putting pressure on the ball, forcing turnovers, making Adamson miss some shots, but again, experience prevailed over talent in that game.
That's right. And for UE, they live and die by the three. If they're making their
Yeah,
threes,
yeah.
nakakahabol sila. That has been the trend for
Mhm.
this season. Let's talk about the other game before we go to the UPFEU one. Let's talk about NU versus UST. NU getting
Mhm.
their second win
Yep.
against UST. What can you say about the teams locking up Nick Cabanero this season? I mean, they've been preparing for him after that 33-point explosion on opening day.
Yo, from here, gaya nga na sinabi ko when I covered that game on Smart Giga Play, I told my partner na from here on out, all shots of Nick Cabanero will be the hardest he will be taking the entire season. Yung mga fast break layups, steal, fast break layups, that would be his easiest shots ever from here on out. So expect him to biglang bumaba yung level of quality ng game niya. Not because he's not making shots, not because off night lang siya. No, he will take those shots pero mapahihirapan siya ng mga kalaban, papahirapan siya ng mga teams. There will be situations, scenarios, schemes for him, just for him.
Mm-hmm.
And for sure, knowing Nick, he's gonna be taking those shots. He's gonna take over for UST and expect him to score more. Kasi I've noticed with Nick Cabanero, he's a volume shooter. He will keep on scoring. And true enough, towards the end of that game, he made a huge three pointer
Three,
towards the
right.
end, try to close in the gap in that game. And again, he will keep scoring, he will keep creating, and he will eventually get his rhythm back in
Mhm.
terms of scoring. And
And,
for NU, yeah, and for NU naman, come on, Kian Baklaan, bro. One word, Kian Baklaan. That's it.
right. And
Yun lang.
for Nick Cabanero, let's go back to Nick Cabanero real quick. I mean, for me, honestly, some people are saying that he should learn how to pass the ball, create first team. Honestly, just play your game, man. Like that's
There
how
you go.
Nick plays.
Yeah.
He's gonna Sherwin Concepcion out. He's gonna be a
The
bucket
next,
even when he's
yeah,
playing well or playing
shoot.
not well. He's just gonna keep on shooting. Pero maganda
Mhm.
rin yung connection niya with Adama Faye.
Yep.
They've been having solid chemistry inside the court. But
Yep.
for NU, this Kian Baklaan performance, not even surprised. This performance was bound to happen.
Yep.
Talking about Kian Baklaan, he had a great preseason, and then
Let's have
now,
it.
eventually, you know, he's gonna create plays for NU. Great ball screen player. He's actually making great reads off the pick and roll,
Yep.
reads
Yep.
that only vets can do, or even the PBA, yung mga skip pass,
Mhm.
snaking, probing after the ball screen.
He
Sobrang
knows.
advanced tong si Kian,
He knows.
and you
Yeah.
guys should watch out for this kid. And
Mhm.
let's talk about the two big games of the UAAP weekend that we had. UP versus FEU.
Mhm.
What can you say about the trend of UP games? It's been close, and then all of a sudden they're gonna um, have a great run in the fourth, or they're leading. No, not leading. They're trailing,
Trailing.
and then all of a sudden they're gonna come back like crazy.
It has been the same scenario ever since the start of the season. It's been like they're gonna be down halftime, third quarter, even third quarter, they're gonna be down. Sometimes big, usually a
Mhm.
slim margin. But the way I see it, it's that deep talent
Right.
Deep talent plus the experience, that's kind of bailing them out
Mm-hmm.
in the end game.
And
We have
sustainable ba to?
That's the question. That's the biggest question there. Is it gonna be sustainable? Because against Adamson, they didn't even needed Carl Tamayo in the overtime period and even in the fourth quarter.
And but
So
also
that's
Zave was playing well
exactly Save
that
was
game,
playing
right?
well that game. But the question there is, in terms of matchup, would you let Carl Tamayo sit on the bench and let Save Lucero play the four and try to go a little bit smaller? Or you ride out Carl Tamayo all throughout the game, sumugal ka, make Zave play the three, or even Harold Alarcon played the three. Then who knows? But again, the biggest question here is, will it last in the end game? Will it last towards the end of the season? Because by the time mag second round, a lot of teams were gonna be making some adjustments, and I kind of expect to see that UP would have uh, blowout games or convincing
Mm.
wins moving forward. But as of now, they have to address that.
And that's right. I mean, number one, I think this is gonna help them, have that collective experience of having close games, just like what happened last season.
Mhm.
So that's number one for me. So I think that's a good thing. But also, it's also we're missing a JD Kagulangan type of thing. They don't have
Yeah.
that stable point guard that runs things, making sure everybody's happy, making sure everybody's getting their shots.
True.
Don't get me wrong, Terence Forte is actually playing very, very well for UP, but he's doing it in a very different way
Different
when you
way.
compare JD and Terence. Terence, he's a shoot first guard. There's no question. So he's an incredible shooter, volume shooter, if I would say, but he looks for his shots first and then
Mhm.
eventually that opens up passing opportunities to Carl
Yeah.
Tamayo pag nag-adjust na yung defense sa kanya. But for JD Kagulangan, he does the total opposite. So he passes first. So tinitignan niya muna yung mga passing opportunities niya to Carl Tamayo, to his shooters, and Zave Lucero, Malik Diouf. And
Mhm.
then
Mhm.
eventually that will open up scoring opportunities for JD. So we're having two contrasting styles when it comes to the point guards of
Mhm.
the Fighting Maroons. And let's see.
Pero
I think
Jegs,
it's just it's
yeah.
gonna be magiging. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a trend. Hopefully they learn more. Well,
But
you had
Jegs,
a question.
moving on the other side of things, let's talk about the FEU Tamaraos. That,
Mm,
that 0-3 is not probably kumbaga hindi sila yung FEU na yan, yung 0-3 na yan, because
right.
we've been seeing glimpse of how they play and how they perform. But Jegs, what are the positives you see for FEU? Because FEU, minsan ganyan lang talaga sila, but what positives do you see from FEU?
Well, they have quarters that they can build on. They can look back at those quarters. Let's say the first three quarters against UP was incredible. In Ateneo, their first two
And
quarters were incredible. They've had that, full court press, which is not their identity, but that's a weapon that they can use. They forced a lot of turnovers against Ateneo. Um, their UE game, I don't think that was, a reflection of what FEU really is.
yes.
That was the game where LJ Gonzalez was wearing a mask, and I talked to him, sabi niya, hindi daw siya masyado makakita. It was uncomfortable. And if your lead guard, if your starting star player is having a tough time seeing on the court, it's gonna be tough for you to win. And he really struggled in that ball game. So
He did, he
three
did.
games, medyo malaki na yun when it comes to the UAP. Those are a lot of games, but they
Yeah.
have room to bounce back. We saw this in Adamson in season 84, when they lost a couple of games in the first round, bounced back in the second.
Mhm.
Pero itong FU, have a couple of athletic guards. LJ Cyrus Torres isn't even heating up, but Patrick
Santa
Sleet has been
Patrick Sleep,
very
yes.
very crucial for them. X factor for me is Patrick
Mhm.
Sleet, a very athletic
Yes.
energy guy. Siya season
Mhm.
84, but now he has that controlled aggression already. And Sandogon, 20 plus
Sandagon.
points against UP, something they can build on once again. But
Yes.
just let's move on to the last game that we're gonna talk about in the
Yeah.
UAAP. Of course, Ateneo LaSalle. You were from LaSalle in high school. First of
Mhm.
all, what does an Ateneo LaSalle game even mean for you? I mean, I'm from UP.
Ano siya?
I just know it's a rivalry and it's always a nice
Ano eh,
game. But what can you say about Ateneo LaSalle?
the way I see it, the way I've experienced an Ateneo Lasal game, it's more of like it's more than the game. Eh. It's more than
Mm-hmm.
the schools.
Mm-hmm.
It's more of the pride, the honor that
Right.
you bring to your school. Kumbaga, it's more to it. Eh. Kumbaga, matalo ka na sa lahat. Wag lang sa Ateneo.
Mm-hmm.
Ganun ka-intense, ganun ka diin yung passion and yung energy na nabibigay nitong rivalry na to. And it's something that not everyone gets to experience, this rivalry, kasi it's from generation to generation talaga. So it's a different
Right. Right.
right now. The way I see it, this is a much different generation as compared to what I've seen before. When the likes of JV Casio, the likes of Mac Cardona, and all those guys, ibang iba as compared to ngayon. It's more of like a system-wise, kumbaga pautakan ng laro eh. But back then, it was more of like a run and gun type of play, derecho,
Mm.
fast pace, intense, talaga physical and yun nga, in terms of Lasal, it's their press and medyo bumabalik yung identity ng previous Lasal system or previous Lasal identity as compared
Mm.
right now, which is talking about that Pumarin press, that deadly Pumarin press, which this current Ateneo team is kind of having a hard time uh, uh, beating it, breaking it. Kasi nakita na natin yung glimpse na yan from Ateneo na they were having a hard time picking a press during that
Mm.
first FE game. Kitang-kita na, it was so evident. And I really think that LaSalle took advantage of that. Now, when that second unit came in from Ateneo, it became a different story.
But basically, Ateneo's missing the services of an SJ Balangel, a stabilizing point guard. It was basically Fortea's. I would count this as Fortea's first Ateneo Lasal because season 84 didn't even play that much, right? But I mean, when LaSalle saw that second unit had a hard time with the press, they just smelled blood and
Yep.
took advantage. And yung LaSalle press na to, Jels, we know this personally.
Yep.
Pag nakuha na nila yung momentum, getting steals, getting back-to-back buckets off of the press, mas ginaganahan lahat eh. Parang pati yung bench, pati yung even their bench players, sila Abadam out of nowhere. They're like, their energy is off the charts kasi nga, the press was working.
Yes.
On the other side, pag may point guard ka that can stabilize, hindi mape-press, can just take them one-on-one. Gitna lang siya, parang Jarrell Lim. Di ba? Gaganon-ganon lang sa gitna yung before against LaSalle, di ba? Parang nawawala yung confidence nila kasi hindi sila nakaka-steal, hindi sila nakaka-stop.
Tsaka
And
the
that's
game
where
slows
they get
down. The game slows down.
And Ateneo played their pace. So I think it's really tough for Ateneo because I think their next point guard after Forteo is Gab Gomez.
Gab Gomez and
And
Paulie
both
Garcia.
Forteo and Gomez, they're like
Madrigal.
players who aren't experienced in the UAP. UAAP is a different animal, different breed.
It is.
You can't even explain it, man. Like the UAAP compared to like games in the NCAA in the States or maybe PBA, bro, UAP iba eh. The drums, the atmosphere, the crowd, the referees, like nothing like it. For me, around the world, there's nothing like the UAP. And I think this Ateneo team, if they adjust and they grow quickly, they're still going to be a tough team to beat. And we're going to see that next weekend with the UP Ateneo game. I am so excited to see that game.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one. Battle of
Jegs,
Katipunan.
Last question, Jegs.
Last question before we go. Right.
I need your thoughts, your quick thoughts on this guy, Shawnee Winston. 25 points, bucket.
For all the analytics guys there who love 3-point shots and layups and free throws, bro, Shawnee Winston is proving you guys wrong because mid-range god in the UAP basically is the Sean Winston. I mean, he struggled actually the first part of the game.
Yeah,
he was
he did.
struggling to hit shots, but eventually when he knocked that first shot down, that mid-range shot, he just floodgates open, mid-range jumper after mid-range jumper, and then hit a clutch 3-point shot in that fourth quarter. Deshaun Winston is I was just able to talk to Manong Derek earlier at the game in our interview. He said that Shawnee Winston is adjusting to the Philippine brand of basketball, and it's showing. He's been so consistent this season. Different, multiple double-digit games for Shawnee Winston, and it's going to be interesting how he's going to adjust to different defensive schemes. That is always the challenge in the UAP. Anyone can have a breakout game. Talk about Nick Caballero had 33 points, but the challenge is if may defense na nandyan, if may double team na, if may help, how will you adjust? And that is the challenge here for Shawnee Winston. But I'm not taking away his talent. He's a freaking bucket in the UAP. Just since you're Mr. Hot Takes, last question before we go. The PBA, we'll probably talk about the PBA in a different episode. But Jello, let's
Mhm.
talk about your hot takes. Who will be in the finals, guy?
I think I've been very very open about this. I think I've already given my hot take on the game about this. I
Mm-hmm.
really feel that DLSU will go further than Ateneo, but UP will win the finals.
And
UP
we're
will go
actually
back to back.
slowly seeing that. We're slowly seeing that
Mm.
LaSalle is actually being a dominant force in the UAP. But for
But it's
UP,
yeah.
do you think it's going to be a problem when JD Kagulangan comes back? Is it a
That's a good
problem or a good problem? I mean, where will you put Terrence? Will you put Terrence in the two or backup point guard with
again.
Terrence?
Again, that's the luxury of UP. That's the luxury that they have right now. Now, your top point guard is not even playing, and yet you guys are up 3-0.
Mm, mm,
Again, like what you said, it's a different aspect. It's a different phase of UP right now, just because JD is not playing.
right, right,
But who knows? Once JD comes in, maybe he can solve some of UP's problems in terms of closing out quarters, in terms of
right,
finishing games, in terms of facilitating, in terms of holding on to big leads. Di ba?
right,
Kasi,
right.
I mean, as a point guard, alam mo yan na, pag malalamang ka na ng malaki, as a point guard, aalagaan mo na yan. You're gonna put
Yeah, yeah,
people
yeah.
into the right places and stuff like that. And
Kumbaga sure ball na.
full
Piso-piso
na,
na.
di ba?
Oh,
Piso-piso
yeah,
na, di
yeah,
ba? Kaya piso-piso na yan. So,
right.
it's an opportunity for UP to see and to show everyone na once JD Kagulangan comes in, I think this is the opportunity for him to address a few problems maybe. And in the long run, pagdating na dun sa dulo, ma-resolve na lahat, they win the championship.
And we will see. We'll see if that happens here in season 85. Make sure to check that out here. We're going to have updates here on the Next Man Up podcast for all the listeners, all the followers. Who do you guys have early into the season? Sino magfa-finals dito sa UAAP season 85? And also, all the questions that we had is JD Kagulangan, good problem to have for UP since Terence Forteas actually playing well. And for Ateneo, will we see their experience go quickly here in season 85
Mm-hmm.
and become, you know, more solid? I mean, they still had a great game. They're still one of the best offenses in the UAAP right now. Or is it gonna be LaSalle who will meet UP, or is it gonna be Ateneo LaSalle? We'll never know. We want to know your thoughts. Make sure to comment down below and let us know. We will shout you guys out in the next episodes. And for my partner and I, Mr. Hot Takes Gelo Vito, my name is Diego Dario, and this has been the Next Man Up podcast. Make sure to catch us on all social media websites below: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, on YouTube, but we're also on Spotify. We'll see you guys soon. That has been it for today. Peace. Happy Monday. Appreciate you, Jels.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yes, there is.